Hello everybody and welcome back to another wonderful round with Slipstream Racing. We're at somewhere I'm not too familiar with, and I don't think the drivers are too familiar with it either. This will be a test of how quickly the drivers can get up to speed with a track car combo that they maybe haven't ever had to touch before. So, with that being said, looking forward at the race, we're at Piranema, a fictional racetrack in Brazil for round 9. But let's look at the calendar, see where we've been and what we've been up to. So far, it's been in season 11, Portugal, Brazil, the UK, US, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, back to Indy, back to Mugello, Piranema for round 9, Saudi Arabia for round 10, Canada for round 11, and then Suzuka for round 12 to round out the 12-round championship up to February 9th. I can't believe we're almost done with this series already. Season 11 under our belt. 20-minute qualifying already underway. Let's see what the drivers have gotten themselves all up to right now. Of course, it's Mr. Cody Lawrence at the tippy top. .119.3 sets that time for that provisional pole position. Only a 10th back, though, is this man right here who's taking an excursion through turn 1. That will be Pete Rader. Trent H into 3rd. Abdullahi in 4th. Kavamasi in 5th, Spump in 6th, Colin Edwards in 7th, Jaden Neal, James Shorter, and we do have the safety car with us again, folks, so be aware that the safety car may be called out for any reason at any time, forcing the grid to get bunched back up. This will be an exciting sight to see, especially around a track that we haven't really been accustomed to before. Let's take a look at the track details very quickly before we get any further along. While we watch Trent H finish up this flying lap he's on right now. We're not at Mugello. I apologize. We are not at Mugello, we're at Piranema. And I know I made one, because this is a very interesting track. Just have to see where I put that thumbnail. New fast lap from Trent H throws him up into P3. A new driver to the Slipstream Racing grid shows up, throws down, puts in P4. Oh, and a big spin there. Better to get it out of the way now. And there's the graphic I was looking for. 12 corners were located in Brazil. Piranema is the track. And there are the track corner layouts on screen in front of you. A little bit of a weird layout for you. You can see the track map in the top right hand corner, but laid out on your screen, you do have those two DRS zones, one coming out of turn 12 into turn 1, and then you have the DRS detection coming out of the exit of turn 8 into turn 9, and then turn 9 to turn 10 is where you're going to have the DRS application be applied. Let's see if we can get the championship standings to populate as well. We'll take a look at that. Right now, it is 176 points to Cody Lawrence in P1. Pete Rader in P2 with 132. Pulls out those points that he needs in front of Twisted Jack, who's running in third place with 104. And then Trevidi in fourth place right there with that second place finish. Thwarts him forward with 86 points. Trent H in fifth place right now. Then Colin Edwards in sixth place. Capomasi in seventh. Jaden Neal in eighth. Ryan Earl in ninth. Travis Wheeler in 10th. Facundo Moises in 11th. Lucy in 12th. Shorter in 13th. Spumf in 14th. And Cameron Ketchen in 15th. We'll round out the 15 participants in the Slipstream Racing Championship. And Spumf now into fourth position. Driver's getting a little punchy out here this evening. And all running well. 3 cars within that 1 second range. Spumf 1.8 back, but trying to challenge forward right now on this run of things. Jaden Neal rocking the Apex GP livery from the F1 movie. Gets to the line. Jaden Neal 4/10 back, 4 seconds back, 1:23.1. On the C2 compound, won't go any faster. An excursion through turn 1 will invalidate this lap that he's flying on right now. Popping over to Trent H now. Oh, and a big spin at the top of the key coming out of the final corner. Expect to see a couple more of those lockups coming into the heavy braking zone of corner number 17. Checking out the timing tower, I believe Ahmad Abudali is actually going a second faster right now than their previous best. 1.24 seconds up on their previous best. This can put them on the front row of the grid potentially if they keep up this pace coming through the final corner. Abdullah gets to the line, the number 1 car. Where does this place Abdullah into the 4th position? And it's looking good with a 1:19.8. That puts 4 cars into the top 4 under 1 second of a gap there. And Abdullah can rest his head knowing he's on the second row of the grid and healthily in the front row of, or the front pack of the grid at the very least, with the pace he just showed on that last lap. Hopefully he can keep that up over the course of the race. Pete Rader coming down pit road now. Spump following along. The F1 Jumpman Tar Heels F1 team. Calling it quits there. Here's Abdullahi again, but this won't be a flyer for Abdullahi. P Raider still toting around with 2:10 left to go on the clock. Not be on a flyer this time around, as this would be an outlap for Raider on cold tires, as he does a quick burnout to warm up the compound tire that he's on, the C3. This won't be a qualifying run. This is just to break in the set that he will be running for the race. Spump doing the same onto the C3 compounds. All drivers pretty much calling it done there. Cody Lawrence, the only one out there still on the C2 compounds, trying to go any faster. And Cody Lawrence will get another lap in. All drivers getting this last final bonus lap in. Should be Spump and Pete Raider getting to the line next. .118.781 is the pole position time, and I don't think anybody on the C3 compound is going to be able to beat it. So that'll conclude the qualifying session for now. Cody Lawrence, Pete Raider, Trent H., Abdullahi, Spump, Edwards, Massey, Jaden O'Neill, James Shorter to round out the 10 participants tonight. And look at these beautiful cars here on track. The Mercedes AMG driven by Trent H. The number 63 for Trent will get to the line and conclude the qualifying session now. .119.221 set by Trent H. A little bit further forward. He goes up into P2. Pete Raider now can challenge back. But is it enough time on the clock? It's going to be a couple of tenths, but is it enough to go to P2? 119.3 won't be there. That will be his fastest lap. Fastest lap comes out for Spump, also P5. Abdullahi on the C3 compounds. Can he retort and do anything? But no, a big loop-de-loop spin coming out of turn 9, and that will call it done there. And that will conclude the qualifying session, folks. Stand by. We'll be right back. And we will get gridded up for the race session here in just a few moments' time. Gotta wait for all the drivers to return to garage, get themselves through the waiting period, and we'll be right there. Spump into P5, though. Finishing up the qualifying run, it'll be Cody Lawrence in P1, driving for Cadillac Racing. Number 11, the Petronas AMG. Number 63 of Trent H. came home in P2 for the qualifying session. Pete Rader in P3, the number 23 Jumpman Tar Heels. Abdullahi, the number 1 Oracle Red Bull car, in 4th position. Spump, the Ferrari, driving in 5th position. Colin Edwards, the number 23 Track Monster team, is going to be in 6th. Glad to see Colin Edwards back. Capo Massi in 7th position, the number 22. Jaden Neal running the Expensify Shark Ninja Apex GP machine. And of course, Saagar Bakshi, aka the Real High, in the Aston Martin DBX medical car. And then we do have the safety car, CrowdStrike F1 safety car as well at the back of the grid. Waiting here for the drivers to get gridded up as we get ready for lap 1 of Piranema. 39 laps about to be underway. Can Trent H and Pete Rader challenge Cody Lawrence at a track he potentially has never seen before, where everybody's on equal footing here? It has to do the same amount of work to get to know the track car combo. Here we go, the red lights becoming illuminated now, and when they go out, we will go racing. And it's green, green, green under the daylight here at Piranema. And it's a good start for the Ferrari of Spump in the background as he's leaping forward and trying to get around a few cars in the backfield, leapfrogging his way all the way up into P4. And there's a huge accident in the backfield. Capo Massi is involved in that, loops around at turn 1, but rejoins the racetrack safely. Pete Rader trying to get around Spump, who's in a little bit of a heated battle with Trent H right now, going side by side in through the first hairpin right now. Spump working his way from the backfield all the way up into P2, but no, it loses a position to P3 now. There goes Trent H. Jaden Neal chopping it up through the field as well. From the back of the pack, Abdullahi falls back into P7 off that crapshoot race start. And Pete Rader, no, what happened to Rader as he falls back? No contact with the wall, so no damage incurred for Rader. Jay Neal to the inside line going in through turn 1. Gets a move done on Twisted Jack there, quick and dirty style. And I'm surprised we didn't see a safety car called for that lap 1, turn 1 incident. And there goes Spump off. at the chicane, the second chicane, and loses out ground, now stuck back into P4 in a three-way battle with Jada Neal and Twisted Jack. Spump trying to defend in the Scuderia Ferrari. Oh, big wiggle there from Twisted Jack, almost lost the car. And then we have 37 laps left to go. Spump in P4 right now, has had a roller coaster ride, was all the way up into P2 at one point in time. Really did a good job to get a jump start on the rest of the field on that start. You could see him getting side by side, leading down towards the run towards turn one. Then he made the move stick on Pete Rader. Then he had to contend with Trent H. That wasn't so easy, and there goes Abdullah in the background at turn one, looping it around. And Pete Rader will pick up that free position coming through that first corner. Spump and the Scuderia Ferrari leads over Twisted Jack in that 55. Six-tenths of a second, the current gap between these two drivers. Go on board here with Twisted Jack. Let's see what it's like to take a lap around Piranema. Fast and flowy chicane, okay. Here's the last hairpin. Very, very slow and off camber as there was a crest in the middle of that final hairpin. Now coming down the front straightaway, leading down and towards turn one. It's a long straightaway, but it's a right-hander that leads directly into a left, so you're getting on throttle a little bit later than you'd like to get it punched out of turn two, but leading down towards turn three and turn four. It's pretty clear-cut what you need to do. Small puffs of smoke being shown there from the tiny lockups that the drivers are incurring. And then this very slow chicane is very tricky because it's so blind. You can barely see where the apexes are in these Formula cars unless you're using the halo cam. Completely committed, trusting the downforce, a quick downshift into sixth gear to stay committed through that corner. And now another big carousel. So much commitment here at the Piranema circuit. The drivers completely trusting their cars and the downforce around them. 124.2, 124.2. The drivers putting in almost identical laps that time around. So Spump and Twisted Jack aptly paired to put on a show for us tonight with the 34 laps remaining left to go in this race. And Twisted Jack loses out ground to Spump in front. 2 seconds now the gap between these drivers. And it means that we have a little bit of a segue. And there goes Twisted Jack spinning at the final hairpin corner. And he'll bump into the wall a little bit as he gets the car spun back in the right direction and gets the tires fired up. Ooh, ouch for Twisted Jack. Right now, the lead belongs to Cody Lawrence here in the Cadillac Racing, number 11. Trent H into P2, the number 63, 3.5 seconds back. Then we have Jaden Neal running 3.6 seconds back from there, whose fastest lap is a 1:23.1, so running right around the same pace as the drivers in front. Last lap around 1:23.0, 1:23.2, 1:23.1, respectively, from the leaders. So don't expect that gap to go anywhere anytime soon. Spump and Pete Rader, though, 1:25, 1:40 for Twisted Jack that last time around, 1:24 for Pete Rader. Pete Rader might be catching up to Twisted Jack if Jack keeps on making mistakes like that. Pete Rader comes down pit road on lap 7. That seems really early, but I guess if you got to do something different, do it sooner rather than later. Very slow pit stop for Pete Rader right now. Lose a position to Capo Masi. Roll out of pit lane now. Looking to be around 40 seconds. Yeah, there it is. 40.1 seconds by the time he rolls out of pit lane. 14 seconds back. Now onto the C2 compound. And maybe go a little bit longer in this race. Everybody driving the C2 compound right now. And Spump and Pete Rader are the only two drivers that have taken pit stops. And it looks like Spump just having taken his pit stop. No, Spump has not taken a pit stop yet. Excuse me. Just Pete Rader has. Progress gained on the evening so far. It'll be Cody Lawrence in the lead of the event right now. And Trent H in P2 with no changes there. Jade Neal has gained 5 positions on the good for the evening. The biggest gainer on the evening. Spump is up 1. Twisted Jack is up 4. Capo Masi is up 1. Pete Rader is down 4. James Shorter's up 2. Abdullah is down 5 and out of the race. And Colin Edwards down 5 out of the race. And those are the gaps on the left-hand side of the screen. This is one of the closest ones on track. The battle between Cody Lawrence and Trent H, 4.7. You could just see Trent in the background in that number 63. And Jaden Neal, 3.1 seconds back from there. All drivers running into the 123s now. 123.0, 123.6, 123.5 respectively from our leaders. Pete Rader finding time, goes purple in sector 2 and 1 second faster on this lap alone. It is important to note that the only driver running with a ballast tonight is going to be the Cody Lawrence car, carrying 35 kilograms of success ballast. Seemingly still isn't enough, though. For the humans amongst us to be able to catch back up. Trent H trying as hard as he possibly might, still 5 seconds down, a quarter of the way through this race. Whoa, and a big spin there for Cody Lawrence coming into the hairpin. And he almost lost the car there. Maintained some resemblance of balance. Looking into the country mountainside is James Shorter. He is on lap 9 right now. James Shorter, the Italian man. I didn't know James Shorter was an Italian man. I know Pete Rader is an American man, though. And the Jumpman Tar Heels F1 team, the number 23. Bit of a roller coaster ride for Pete Rader tonight. Start of the race up there in P3. Had a spin coming through the chicane. And now into P7, doing something different with his strategy. Got a new change of C2s. It's going to run this stint long, I can only imagine. James Shorter. In the number 8 Chevrolet, the Budweiser machine, I believe yielding for traffic to get through. Yes, James Shorter always being a gentleman. Quickly dives out of the way for the traffic round. Jaden Neal, only 1.3 seconds now to Trent H, the current gap. And this is one that I really didn't think we were going to see go anywhere. But the gap has come down, 123.3. Jaden Neal into the 122s. That will be the fastest lap of the event so far. So Jaden Neal obviously has the pace to catch up to Cody Lawrence up ahead. That will be a spicy conversation as we're just about to approach the halfway point of this event. Spun from the Scuderia Ferrari coming through turn 1. Jaden Neal challenging forward. And remember, Jaden Neal started at the back of this grid. So this is an absolute last to first challenge right now. Little puffs of smoke coming out of the tires there. Lockups galore coming into the final corner. DRS is open for Jaden Neal. 122 again for Neal. This time he's fully alongside and gets the move done at turn 1. Doesn't even mount the curbs for the run off road. Just exits wide, stage left. Now Jaden Neal in the Apex GP Expensify machine has their work cut out for them. 6 seconds the gap to Cody Lawrence, but he is running about a half a second quicker. Not on that last lap. Last lap around 122.8, 122.9, 123.6. So Cody Lawrence and Jaden Neal both picking up their paces, while Trent H is being stagnant with his. 122.8 to 122.6. The pace is there. Jaden Neal slowly catching up, knocking on the door of Cody Lawrence up ahead. .124, 122 thrown down by Twisted Jack. That'll be his fastest lap of the event so far also. Trent H pulls out his fastest lap of the event, a 123.0. 122.6 to 122.7 that last time around for Cody Lawrence and Jaden Neal. 14 laps under their belt so far on the lead lap for the first three. Trent is falling back to Jaden Neal. Just doesn't have the same amount of pace there, although he is now going quicker than he has been through Sector 1. Top speed is there for Cody Lawrence, a 303.3 kilometers per hour in a straight line. That's without the helping DRS as well. Top speed for anybody is going to be 304.28, and that'll be Twisted Jack carrying that speed down the front straightaway. Track conditions are quite hot right now. It is 29 degrees Celsius for the ambient and 39 degrees for the track temperature right now. So quite hot indeed. No wonder all the drivers are having to select the hardest compound tires available to them to run these stints right now. Jaden Neal is chipping away at this time right now. Another 2/10 gained, bringing the gap down to just 5 seconds. I'm guessing in around 10 laps, maybe Jaden Neal catches up to Cody Lawrence. My hypotheses, if you will, based on the way things are running. So, on lap 28, we expect to see some racing action. But until then, it's pretty much the sights and sounds of the VRC Formula One machinery around Piranema tonight. Because the gaps are pretty big out there on track, except for the one right now between Twisted Jack and Spump. We're going to have to switch over to that one because Spump and Twisted Jack quite spicy on track together, running around the same pace at the same time. And Spump dives over to the racing pit wall and tries to defend from Twisted Jack. The run down towards turn 1 belongs to Twisted Jack. As he carries the overspeed and the drive, Spump goes deep and wide at turn 1. Loses out ground to Twisted Jack, the Canadian driver from the Williams team, number 55. Looking back at the pit wall, just chipping away time. Jaden Neal just chipping away tenths right now. Gained another couple tenths that last lap. It looks like Capo Masi is off. And lets the rest of the field by at the first chicane. Yes, Capo Masi is rolling again back into P7. Number 22. Spump actually comes down pit lane, and there's another pit caller. I believe that will be James Shorter. Yes, that is Shorter. Lap 21 out of 39 underway currently. Mr. Cody Lawrence leading us for all of these 20 laps up until this point. Jay Neal working his way from the back of the field all the way up into P2, trying to H down one position from where he started in P3. Twisted Jack gains 5 tonight. Pete Rader down 2, started in 3rd, now running in 5th position. Spump in 6th, started in 5th. Capomasi started in 7th, now running in 7th position. James Shorter up 2 in 8th position. Abdullahi down 9, and Capomasi is disqualified from the session because of that big spin and a teleport to pit lane. And that will conclude Capomasi's run of things tonight. James Shorter now over to Cody Lawrence, the quiet killer, as he is slaying lap times left and right. 123.3 compared to 123.155 from Jaden Neal. Excuse me, scratch that. There's a 123.3 to a 123.1. Okay, thought that said 122.1. Holy smokes, that would have been fast. That would have been a full half second faster than anybody else. Cody Lawrence comes down pit lane. This gives Jaden Neal the lead of the race for the first time. And Cody Lawrence will go on to a new change of boots. Now Jaden Neal has to decide if the undercut is strong enough for him to come down pit road, or if these lap times are good enough for now. Tread H also down pit road. Twisted Jack into pit lane in the Williams. Jaden Neal into pit lane, does cover off that undercut from Cody Lawrence. Had to respond right away. Where is Cody Lawrence on track? There he is. Now Cody's going to re-inherit the lead of the event. Cody onto the C3 compound to end the evening. the medium compound runner, expecting to go to the very end. And Jaden Neal loses time in pit lane. Now the gap is 8 seconds. Ouch. Ouch. A 3-second loss there for Jaden Neal in the pit lane alone. He was at a 5-second gap. Now it's at nearly 8 seconds. The current gap here at Piranema. And here's to go show you why Cody Lawrence is about a second quicker on this lap alone. (1:21.3) that last lap from Cody Lawrence. Fastest lap of the event. The medium compound really putting in a lot of work right now. And Jaden Neal has to match that energy and speed. Ooh, big spin for Spump as he cuts the grass one way, the other way. Fires up the rear tires. Can he get back on the asphalt without spinning? Yes, Spump, a master rejoiner there. Pete Raider, the Jumpman Tar Heels, in 4th place, pits out from that position. We'll definitely lose one to Twisted Jack. We'll lose another one to Spump. Perhaps not with that spin that Spump just had. Twisted Jack in the 55. Williams comes down and around, gets past Pete Raider. So re-inherited P4. Raider 3 seconds down in P5. Jaden Neal picks the new best lap of the session, a 1:21.1. So even with the new tires, Jaden Neal is still the quicker of the two drivers. Purple sector 1 for Jaden Neal this time around. Oh, and Jaden Neal has a huge crash and will immediately DNF from the session. Oh, man. Right here is where the accident took place, and that's not how we wanted to see that battle end. That was actually one I was really looking forward to. Jaden Neal and Cody Lawrence going after it wheel to wheel at the very end, as I believe that's Cody Lawrence going on an excursionary trip over the curbs through turn 1 behind Pete Raider and Twisted Jack here. Now, the gap between the leaders with just 11 laps left to go is going to be 24 seconds. And then 56 seconds later will be Twisted Jack in P3, Pete Raider now into P4, with Spumf in P5, Capomasi in P8. The leader, Cody Lawrence, makes his way through the traffic, but here's Twisted Jack and P. Raiders battle now. Both of them had to take time to yield to Cody Lawrence. Now they're glued together on track. Pete Raider has the pace on the recovery drive. He's already 2/10 quicker on this lap, but Twisted Jack is 3/4 of a second faster on that lap. Makes an excursionary trip coming through the first hairpin. Back over to the Jumpman Tar Heels battle with the Williams machine. Only 9 laps left to go. Pete Raider gotta get the hurry up and go, but doesn't have the urgency of having to get it done in 1 lap. Knows that he can get this done cleanly. Just has to be a little bit patient to get it done. Not into the braking zone leading into the final chicane. Perhaps into the braking zone of turn 1 if he's close enough, but not close enough any longer, as there's a 1.5 second gap between himself and Twisted Jack already. So he won't even get the DRS coming out of the final corner. He'll have to do all that hard work over again. Brought it down to 9/10 of a second through the detection point. Is it enough? No, it wasn't enough to apply the DRS. For P. Raider, he's losing ground still. Now he's just trapped in the dirty air behind the car in front of Twisted Jack. Really stuck out there. 122.5, 122.5. Twisted Jack's best lap of the session. Twisted Jack and Pete Raider almost identical in lap times, almost identical in top speed. Coming down the main straight also. right at 304 kph. So it should come down to a battle of mistakes between the duo. But who's going to blink first with just 6 laps left to go? 122.1 to a 122.1. Both drivers setting those best laps on that last lap around. Cody Lawrence in that number 11 has led us for 32 laps. It seems like he has been faultless all night long. Even at a new car track combo, could not be unsettled. We saw some fierce competition get close, but no Saagar. Happy to see Trent H back in action as well. Been a while since we've seen him get some points, and second place is looking good for him currently. Both drivers again setting their fast laps, last laps around. Pete Rader just a 10th quicker that time around. It's not too much to beckon about there. It will be a battle of attrition between the two here at Piranema. Closing down the gap, Pete Rader on the charge. Has the helping hand of the drag reduction system coming down the front straightaway. The Williams tries to move over, but the Jumpman Tar Heels are going to get by. Rader is through. And Jack gets a 5-second penalty for cutting the track following Pete Rader through turn 1. And that will 100% conclude this battle here. And now, Twisted Jack backs off knowing that he has a 5-second penalty. And that will be all she wrote for the battle for P3. Whoa! There is a very slow, I believe, spump on track. As Spump gets 5-second penalty for track cutting as well. P Raider running in third position. Had to do a lot of work to get back up to P3. Right now, Twisted Jack on that charge, but has a 5-second penalty. Probably cannot catch back up. And then gain 5 seconds as well. It was a good charge for Twisted Jack, but even better one for Trent H. The driver running in second position. 1 minute off the good from Cody Lawrence. But still into P2. .120.9 for Trent H on the C3. That will be the fastest lap of the race even. And now will that force Cody Lawrence to come down pit road to get a new change of boots and go for the fast lap here? Spump having a roller coaster of a ride tonight. Number 16 in 5th place though. Getting a good haul of points on the evening is Spump from the Scuderia Ferrari team. 1 lap left to go after this one. Lap 38 of 39. About to be underway. The white flag will be flying, but we will have to see an additional lap come out for Trent. There it is. The white flag is waving from Barney the Flag Man. Again, stay tuned because the leader has to cross the line, and then we will get that bonus lap from P2, Trent H. And will P3 have to do the same? No. P3 will finish behind the leader. P2 of Trent finishing in front of the leader, so both Trent and Spump having to do extra laps around the track, as they are going to stay on. Well, Trent will stay on the lead lap. Spump will finish 1 lap down on lap 38. Looking at the beautiful scenery here at Piranema, the mod creator really did such a great job with making this track look good. The sponsor banners are there, the walls are there, everything is stitched together so perfectly. Just like Cody Lawrence and his result tonight, stitched together so perfectly. Cody Lawrence bringing us home to the line, to the checkered flag. It's Cody Lawrence in P1 here at Piranema, and most of the championship points so far in his lap. Has the championship been decided mathematically? I think we'll find out or decide that next week. Trent H still having to do this last lap around. P3 of Pete Raider crosses the line. P4 of Twisted Jack crosses the line. And Spump
and Trent H to be the remaining 2 drivers needing to cross the line to finish out this event, but they will do so in P2 and P5 respectively.
Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been 39 laps around Piranema here in Brazil, but it's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag. I'm your host, Saagar Bakshi, aka The Real High. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, for some more F1 racing, folks, with the Slipstream Racing organization. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Get notifications on your phone when we go live. If you like what you see, if you want to get on the grid, make sure you check out Slipstream Racing on Discord. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful night. And as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Bye-bye.